Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Baltimore Blizzard meme team franchise here on NBA 2K20. Today we'll be taking on the Los Angeles Clippers in our first game of a doubleheader. We're not playing both games in this video, we're just going to play the one, but it's definitely a rough game. They're 4-0 on the season so far. Yeah, so I mean, we've definitely got our hands full. So we're going to take a quick look at what uniform we can wear. But yeah, so they're rocking the white. We're going to rock the black. Actually, you know what? No, we'll just rock this simple away once we haven't rocked those in a while. But let's hope we can put up a nice fight here against this team that is clearly better than we are. I mean, maybe get it done, maybe get a W, maybe pull off the miracle. So here we are in enemy territory at the Staples Center. Boy, oh boy, you can see some power rankings there as we are ranked 21st in the league. Looking to really improve on that today and come up with that big upset against the Clippers. I don't know how the Mavericks aren't high because they're literally 7-0 and the Sixers are 5-0, and those two teams in the first two spots are just 4-0, but not for much longer. We are going to knock off the Clippers today. I'm feeling it. Let's go, Bobby. Win this tip. He got it. What a start. Boban wins the tip for the first time in a long time, as that was not the pass I wanted to make. We're going to go into Thon first play. As he's pulling a one-handed fader. That was a bad shot, not the shot I wanted to take. Now we got to play defense. Here's Leonard Leonard guarded by Joe. Kicks it up to Lou Will. Lou Will is driving on Caruso, and wow, Lou Will with a tough finish. I didn't think that had a prayer, but that's just that Clipper cheese. Caruso putting some moves on Lou Will, and he's got Thon on the inside. He's going to get fouled. He will head to the line for two. There's the first one. Knocks it down. I did not realize Thon was such a bad free throw shooter. Second one, good as well. Both under 60% chance, but whatever, we will take it. Maybe that's something he needs to look to improve on in the offseason. Here's Kawhi in the corner. Working on Joe, and tosses it into Marcus Morris Sr., who just got the step on me as I was Thon maker, and he's going to put one home. It's looking like we cannot play much lackluster defense here as Morris picks up his second foul in just the first minute and 4 seconds. As we know, Caruso's knocking these down. He's been lights out from the free throw line all year, and they're both going in without a doubt. It's just got such an easy timing. Let's see if we can pick up a strip on Lou Will. We can. We're going to have to get around Zubac, but he does. Caruso picks up the strip, picks his pocket, and then takes it all the way home for the slam, going right around Lou Will and Zubac, who is already subbed in for Marcus Morris. There's PG up and over Patty McCaw, got right inside and hits the little jumper, and he's on the board with his first points. So here's Caruso. We're going to take the three. He cannot knock it down. He's been pretty bad from there all season, and that was a pretty good look. As I whiff on the steal attempt, and they try to throw a lob to Montrez, but guess who's there? And Kawhi's not going to get back. Kawhi wanted no part of Thon maker. He decided to stay out on Joe for too long, and then got dunked on, sorta. Didn't. I mean, kinda. As Joe is going to pick up a steal. He's going up to Caruso as well. And Caruso's going to dunk it home yet again. The Blizzard are flying up and down the court here in the early going, getting plenty of slams. That is what we like to see from this team. We don't have much youth in this starting lineup, as Boban and Joe are both pretty old, but they do try and get up and down the court. As here's Kawhi trying to bully Joe. I bid on the pump fake. Going back to Lou Will. Then they go to Montrez. Then Zubac. Whips it over to George. Got to get something up, as George is going to have to fire a three in the face of McCaw. And it's no good. And I just stole a rebound from Boban, as we're going to whip it up to Patty McCaw. Just putting a move on Zubac. And now I think we're going to abuse this mismatch we have with Paul George on Thon. Oh, I thought Joe was going to be open there for a second. So we're going to try and do it again. Thon's going to just have to fire one up, and it is no good. Some good post defense on the bigger man there by Paul George as he's going to stop and pop a three. As Joe forces the rebound out of Kawhi's hands and into our man's hands. So we're going to swing it over to Caruso. He's been doing pretty well all game. Thought he had a look. Oh, and then throws it away. So we're going to have to see what kind of defense Patty has here on the break. So he can't stop PG from getting to the hole. And now we just lead by 2. Flying right through the first quarter here, only with 2:20 to go. Serves McCaw in the paint. Working on PG. Oh, and Kawhi takes that away, and he's going to slam it on the other end as he read that like a book and just broke on the ball and never looked back. Now let's see what Caruso can do here. Lou Will all over him. He's run out of gas. We're going to go into Thon. As Thon gets Zubac to bite on the pump fake. What a move by Thon Maker. Gets him with the up and under. Zubac thought he had a rejection, but instead he looks silly as the Clippers call timeout. So here comes some Blizzard subs as we have a former teammate matchup here with Lance Stevenson against Paul George. They were once the dynamic duo for the Pacers. As Taco's going right at the hole, not Taco, Paul George going right at the hole, followed by Taco. And he's not going to have any way to get that up and over the big man. As we're going to call for a screen from him right here. He's not really able to get the screen on PG, so we're going to whip it up to our... try to get it to Jeremy. We're going to go see if we can get Lynn a shot here. And we don't have any time left, so we're just going to have to step back with JR, who can't get it to go, but Taco's there for the board, and he gets fouled. I don't know what I was doing there, trying to call plays and stuff like that. I just messed up big time, but Taco's going to bail us out, averaging that nice double-double off the bench. As we know, he is not hitting 2 free throws, but he does get the 1, which is always nice. So here's Reggie Jackson going into Montrez, and what are you doing? You can't get that against Taco, but Taco is not the best at recovering, so after 1 jump, he's pretty much gassed. So 1 jump kills Taco. This JR fires up a midi, and we can't collect the rebound. If there's Pat Bev just going up inside, getting it to fall. Let's see what we can do here. Jeremy Lin going to put up a floater, and it is good. Jeremy Lin nails the floater, and it is a 1-point Blizzard lead. Need some good D here to seal the lead before the quarter. There's Reggie Jackson at the top. Goes right around Lynn. Gets him to bite on the pump fake. But Taco still collects the block after he bit on the first one. And now he's running the floor. A huge mismatch in the post against Pat Bev. Oh, and Paul George strips it from him. As Paul George puts one up at the horn, and it is good. Right before the buzzer sounds. We're just going to have to try and fire up one with Lance here. No good, and we trail by 1 at the end of the quarter after letting PG strip us and then nail 1 on the break. So except for the turnovers, I didn't feel like the Blizzard played too bad that last quarter. So if we can just limit those, I feel like we will be A-okay. As right as I said that, IT Bout gets a strip, and then Bulbul's gonna Bulbul try to see if I can come over and get the ball and leave Morris open a little too much. And now they have 2 more points. As we see Taco on the inside. Mismatch with Reggie Jackson. Almost got stripped by, what's his name again? Now we have Bulbul. We're going to go right back to Taco. Get out, Bulbul. And Reggie Jackson strips Taco. We cannot keep letting that happen. As here's Sam Decker trying to get back and block Pat Bev. But now the Clippers are just running all over us. That is a quick 5-0 run here to begin the quarter. That was not what we wanted to see. You know, we have another post-match match here against Reggie Jackson, and I freaking knew that was going to happen. That's why I was trying to get out like that. 2K is so bad about calling stupid stuff like that. You see the West All-Star race for the front court. But yeah, I mean, you're in there for 2.9 seconds in there, and they call that stupid thing on you like anybody ever gets called for that in the actual NBA. But we do here. But here's the blizzard is no one is going to get in the way of J.R. Smith, and he drives right through the whole team and then has an easy layup, and we are just down by 4. Let's see what we can do on D. Here's PG. Started by Sam Decker. Pump fakes after his step back. Thought he had some room, but apparently not. Here's JR. And I mean, if Taco can't win this matchup, I don't know what he can. If he's going up and he gets fouled and still misses, but that's got to be a shot that he hit. Because I mean, come on, man, you're 7'5". As he hits the first free throw, so we know that this one is not going to go in, but it does. Oh my lord! Mark this day in the calendar. Taco actually hit 2 free throws. That might make the thumbnail. Taco Fall goes 2 for 2 at the line. That's like Bleacher Report worthy. And then he blocks Reggie Jackson, and then gets stripped, and then blocks Zubac, and then blocks Reggie Jackson. No sir, no sir. When will they learn? When will they learn? Now we've got Patty McCaw cutting, and he's gonna slam it with one hand. Here come the blizzard. Tie game. As Taco Fall blocks the whole team and the bench and 2 of the coaches. And we're right back in this thing. As they're going into Kawhi against Nick Young. Yep, Kawhi's stroking that mid-range step back. After he had me all sorts of confused there in the paint. And we're down by 2 just like that. We see Bobo cutting on the inside though, and he's going to slam it with one hand. We don't really try to be the flashiest team, but boy, we do get a lot of these dunks. We make so many good cuts, and I love it. Oh my, that's my fault. I was Taco. I thought I was going to try and help on Reggie Jackson, maybe get a block. Saw him go up. I thought he was trying to shoot a floater, and he just threw a lob to Zubac and confused me as IT throws a pass off of Marcus Morris Sr. to Bol, and Bol gets to go, as it is still a tie game. Haven't been playing bad most of this game, just a couple possessions where I look silly, but we need to look better. That's IT's about 15th almost steal this game. And yep, he's going to need some help in there. Taco tries to come over, but is a little late. But we need somebody else to guard Kawhi in there. One of our bigs for sure. Because out here it just ain't working. Here's Bol going up against 2 defenders, and he will get fouled and head to the line. The first one, no good. Let's just see if he can cut it to 1, and he will. And it's just a 1-point Clipper lead with 2:22 here to go in the second quarter. What in the world? Lou Will goes right around Lance and then makes a most acrobatic pass I've ever seen, like Jason's William level, as he gets it to Montrezl Harrell, and then Jeremy Lin can't find the 3 ball. And then he tries to put one up in the face of Bol, and that's about the 15th time he's gotten rejected tonight. As okay, Lou Williams. Okay, Lou Will. Lou Williams makes a shot that, in my mind, Lou Will is never hitting over a much, much larger defender. As I wish that our guards could hit mid-range shots. I don't get that. Jeremy Lin is, what, 6 foot even? And can't hit a mid-range jumper, but he's in the NBA somehow. That's got to be one that he knocks down. As Kawhi goes up with another midi, but can't get that one to fall. And we're pushing again. And here comes Lance on the inside, and he's going to get it to fall in the face of Lou Williams. See, that's a shot that I think we can hit, but Lou will trying to put one up and over Bol. I just doesn't make any sense. The Clippers call another timeout. So we are bringing the starters back in here for this last minute 04. I thought I was going to steal the inbound there, but I guess not. We need Patty McCaw to play some good defense here on PG. He's going to pull a midi. No good. Boban collects the board. Now we're whipping it up to Thon. Didn't really have a whole lot on him now, so now we're going to look for a screen with Patty McCaw, who had to pick up his dribble, so we're going to Caruso. Caruso Goes right at the hole. Can't get it to fall, and Lou Williams collects the rebound. Joe Ingles did a good job getting in the face of Paul George, but he knocked it down anyway because it was just 5% covered or something like that. Whatever. Okay. Caruso goes right at the hole, and then this old man Clippers team is going to go right around us. And now there's just 15 seconds left and we are down 7. Montrezl Harrell blocked Caruso like that. And what was that, Caruso? He just decided to not go up very strong, and now I'm getting lost by PG, and he's going to put one in before the horn, as we have absolutely blown it here with 1.2 to go. We're just going to have to pull this half quarter with Caruso. Didn't even get off in time. And we are down 9 heading into the half. So here we are in the third quarter, needing a big performance here as we played well, pretty well that whole first half except for the last minute. Caruso gets a reach-in foul on Lou Williams, who in my mind is a total bitch, but whatever. Montrezl Harrell's the same way. All he cares about is stats. For some reason we're switching that, and then Paul George gets a 3 out of it, but it does not fall. So here's the Blizzard on offense. So I'm going to whip this over and put it in the post for Boban. He's not really touched on offense here yet. He's got Paul George on him and decides to pull a jumper instead of going towards the hoop. It's a terrible timing on it because once again I thought he was going towards the hoop, but it falls nonetheless, because that is what we like to see from the big man. When Paul George gets a ball don't lie level shot, because that was some serious post cheese, but gets the fall nonetheless as Caruso makes a great pass inside to Thon. But Marcus Morris Sr. proven he could be DPOY. As they throw it over to Kawhi in the corner, who is knocking down the 3 ball, and we have to play better defense. I'll whip it up the court to Caruso, who's seemed to be a pretty consistent source of offense. So we're going to see if Boban can score on Montrezl Harrell in the post. And it looks like he can. As the big man gets his second bucket of the quarter to fall, and maybe we need to start searching for more offense through him. There's Lou Will missing a mid-range jumper, and I felt that. As you all know very well that none of our guards can hit jumpers. Here's Thon going up against Lou Will, and I'm surprised he didn't get stripped or something like that, but yet another 2 points will be added to our score on the bucket from Thon Maker. Now let's see what we can do here on D. As Thon Maker collects the foul, and PG will head to the line. First one is good. Second one's probably going to be the same way. It sure is. And we're down by 8. As here comes the small guys. IT is checked in. He's going to get a floater, and that's good as well. IT hits a floater in the face of Zubac. We are actually shooting better than the Clippers, but they've shot 10 more shots than we have. As that is a definite problem, and I'm sure that they've hit more threes than we have, because I don't think we've hit any. As Zubac goes up against Sam Decker after the nice pump fake and gets it to fall. So let's see what we can do now on O. Lynn gonna put up a floater, and Zubac learned his lesson, and he gets over for that one, as he got over there in a hurry. Paul George is gonna pull a 3 and knock it down, and we need a timeout. So here we come out of the timeout, trailing by 11. Needing a big rest of this quarter. Pat Bev plays Pat Bev level defense. And Lance is going to knock down a 3 after the screen from Bol Bol. Thought that possession was a bust as soon as Jeremy Lin had to pick it up. But he puts it back on the floor, and then Lance knocks down the 3. Oh no! Why, Reggie? Reggie Jackson cannot figure out how to get the ball out of defenders' hands, as he's been blocked 5 or 6 times this game. As that was a big one from Bol Bol there. PG's got 2 seconds left. Going to have to fire from the Staples Center logo, and Lance is going to reject him. So a very good defensive possession there from the Blizzard. Let's see if we can kick it into gear on offense. As Jeremy Lin gets Zubac to hit the deck. I don't know if Zubac thought he was going to take a charge or what. As Lin gets his second floater to go, I'm just now trying to shoot these floaters. I've tried some earlier in the season. They weren't working, but I thought, hey, might as well try one today. And we've gotten a couple to fall. One of them we got seriously blocked on, but hey, got to do what you got to do, right? They're going into Zubac, and Bulbul gets the strip. I thought I jumped way too early, and it was a bust for sure, but we're going into Sam Decker, who's going to put it in. A nice pass there from Bulbul, way to read the floor, and we get an easy 2, and we are down just 4. The subs put it in some really good minutes here. As Bulbul, whoa. A very athletic move by Zubac, one that he could never make. As, yeah, Wall does not lie. As he would, I mean, it was definitely a foul, but he would never get that close to making it. And I actually personally do love Zubac, but that is not happening. As we head across, and I was afraid I was going to get a 3-second call, or not 3-second, I'm an idiot. It's not 3-second, whatchamacallit there, as we're going to let Sam Decker pull this 3, and he cannot get it to fall. I have no idea what his 3-point rating is, but he was open, and I thought, why not, I should fire it. As, okay, Montrezl Harrell shows off his volleyball skills and tips that one in. As, yeah, nah, I don't know about that one, Chief. It didn't even look like he caught it and threw it. It looks like he just tipped it. And as Jeremy Lin gets yet another shot to fall, and he is rolling here as the backup PG. This is the kind of performance we would like to have him see. Like to see him have. That was not right at all. I wish I could speak English. Clippers timeout. We're going to check in 2 of our, actually, I don't even know if Bulbul's taller than Thon, but some 2 pretty big players now as Taco and Thon check in. Let's see if they can have as big an impact as their bench guys that were behind him. Montrezl Harrell's got a 3 look, not going to take it for obvious reasons. He's going to whip it out to Reggie Jackson. He's going to have to pull one from near half court, and we are lucky that went long because there was no way that he was going to get that if it didn't. As we almost get an 8-second call, and almost have all sorts of other stuff. Oh, as I thought Thon was putting that back, as IT misses the floater. And then Lance gets a strip. And we've got nothing but green grass in front of us as Thon Maker punches a one-handed jam. Thought about giving it up to IT, but it wouldn't surprise me if Montrezl Harrell would have come over and swatted him, because he is mighty short. So here's Paul George. Dancing a little too much, and Nick Young pokes it away. But they've got Reggie Jackson for 3. He's wide open, and he cannot get it to fall. So at the end of the 3rd, the Blizzard are down just 3, and we need a big-time 4th quarter to come back in this one. So here's the Dream Team coming back in now. Caruso making some moves, and then we had Boban there for a second, but I didn't trust the jumper. As Montrez picks up a reach foul and bails us out because I did not know where I was going there with Marjanovic. So here's Caruso now. I've been wanting to go to Joe all game, but he's had Kawhi on him all game. As Caruso posters Montrezl Harrell. Dunks it right in the face of him, as it is about time that he caught a body. Now let's see if he can do anything on defense. Defending Reggie Jackson. Reggie. All sorts of moves. A nice hop step inside that he gets around his man. And it is a 3-point Clippers lead. Oh, I thought I saw Thon in the corner. Thon does have a 3. A little too much dribbling, but he knocks it down anyway. As no, it didn't count as a 3. It was just a 2. As Thon gets robbed of a point. Well, robbed himself of a point, I guess. They're going to Lou Will in the paint. And, okay, buddy. Once again, I know Lou Will can score, but in no way, shape, or form can he score in the ways that they're making it look like he can score. As Thon Maker gets a nice putback in the face of several Clippers. And that is the energy that we need here in this final quarter. as Caruso picks up a steal. And he's going to lob it to Thon for the dunk. And these two are coming alive here in the last quarter of play. I guess my game got too excited there as some cable came loose or something like that. So I apologize for that on that technical difficulty. But we are A-okay here now. I hope. I think. So let's just continue the game. Here's Kawhi working on Caruso. Bulbul trying to, not Bulbul, Marjanovic trying to come over and block it, but he cannot. And now it is a 1-point Clippers lead. As Caruso about lost it. Can't recover, so he does lose it. And now here's Patty McCaw getting in the face of Kawhi, who's going to pull a pretty bad mid-range shot. And for once in our lives, we're going to slow it down. As never mind, we see Thon on the inside. A great find by Joe Ingles as he finds Thon Maker on the inside, who is coming absolutely alive here in the fourth quarter. And he gets yet another 2 points. As Kawhi gets called for a 3-second call. I was just about to say it's about dang time. We would have gotten called for that 5 seconds earlier as here comes Paul George. The Blizzard have a 1-point lead. Looking to protect it here. Using this pick and roll that's been working all game. Now going inside to Thon. He's been hot. He's going around his man and getting fouled as Montrez gets the rejection. But it still will be a foul nonetheless as we need some free throws here from our big man. First one is good. Nothing but net. Second one is good. Thon Maker pushes the lead to 3 points with 3 minutes remaining. I'm going to man up on him here as let's see what we can do on D. Need a big time stop. They're going into PG on Patty McCaw. He goes up. Patty McCaw gets a piece of it. Blocked by McCaw. So now a still 3-point lead. We're going into Thon. Let's see what he can do. He's going to, try and dipsy-do one around his man, but can't get it to fall. So here come the Clippers on offense. Montrez on the inside. Gives 2 pump fakes. Bulbul is not biting. I'll let Montrez Harrell pull as many middies as he wants. Here's a 3 from Paul George in the face of Patrick McCaw. No good. And now let's see what we can do here with Joe, with a much smaller defender on him. I'm going to call for a screen. And he sees Bulbul on the inside, and Bulbul rears back and slams one. An emphatic jam to push this lead to 5 points. As now let's see what we can do on D. Need a big stop yet again. It is just a 5-point lead as Caruso and Bulbul kind of foul Paul George together to make sure we're not giving them any easy points here late. Paul George knocks in his second one, and it is a 3-point Blizzard lead as we are going to slow it down here. No need to rush anything. We're just going to let Caruso post up Lou Williams. Can't get it to fall, and Lou Will collects the board. Caruso is gassed, and they're throwing it to the corner for Kawhi, who can't knock down the 3. So we are going to slow it yet again. Like I said, no need to rush anything. Calling for a screen from Bulbul. He's open on the inside. Pump fake, gets him to go, and can't get the shot to fall. Could have been a big and one for Bulbul as Montrez jumps. But we still need him to knock down these free throws and push the lead. A nice job of drawing the foul. And he does hit the first free throw. Boy, if that would have been an and one, I would have gone crazy as he knocks them both down. And it is a 5-point Blizzard lead. Can we upset the undefeated Clippers? This would be huge. There's Lou Will on the inside. Good. Once again, hits a never would he ever Lou Williams type shot. We're just going to have to go. But actually, we're going to call a quick timeout to regain some stamina here for our point guard, who is gassed. We are going to leave. Everybody that we had in is going to stay in. They've been playing an incredible fourth so far. Let's hope that they can get us the rest of the way, as Caruso was inside, but I don't trust it with Montrez right there. We have 8 seconds to do something. Caruso's going to have to go up, and it's an and one! Welcome to the Caruso, as he collects an and one in the face of Harrell and Williams, as he used Williams to keep, he keeps Lou Will to keep Montrez off of him, and he nails the free throw for a 3-point play, and it is a 6-point Baltimore lead. That might be the biggest play in franchise history so far, as Alex Caruso pushes this lead, as we are going to put in the Twin Towers lineup with Boban and Taco to make sure that they do not get any easy rebounds, as PG gets in a wide open look and misses, and they're going to have to foul Lance. We wanted to make sure we got that ball out of one of the Bigs' hands, as Lance misses the first one. No, but it is all right. He hits the second. We needed that. It is a 7-point Baltimore lead. Let's see if Patty McCaw can put some good defense on Paul George. After the screen from Harrell, he's stepping back. Terrible shot attempt, and Boban collects another rebound, as I think this one is all but over in the Staples Center, as we see Lance over on the other side for 3. Can't get it to fall. Oh well. This one is all but over, as Lou Will just tries to get a little garbage point. It will not fall, and this one will be a W for the Baltimore Blizzard, coming into enemy territory and collecting the win. What a game. What a game. So here we are looking at the box score. So we do see that Paul George put up 34, Kawhi with 22, Lou Will with 20, Harrell with a double-double. Their whole team shot pretty well, except for poor Reggie Jackson, who was rejected about 19 times. Now we'll look at our box score. Ston Maker put up a huge 40 points for us. The most I think that anybody has scored yet this season, as he came up huge. Alex Caruso, of course, with that huge and one at the end. 6 assists, which is what we like to have him see. He's not been doing really too well in that department. And 4 steals. Bol with 18 points, didn't miss a shot. 6 boards, 4 assists, and 6 blocks. An incredible game for him. Lance with 12, and then some 2s all over the place, as he was everywhere today. That's what we like to see from him. A big-time effort from Jeremy Lin as well, who came up big. Boban with 8 and 8 off the bench. He didn't play, or not off the bench, in the starting lineup. He didn't play as many minutes as he usually does. We wanted to get our other centers in there, as Taco Fall hit 6 free throws, 6 of 8, which is very nice. 14 boards and 10 blocks. If I would have known he had 10 blocks, I would have tried a lot harder to get him those other points and get him that big triple-double. So I'm sorry, Taco, but still a very nice performance on the defensive end from our big man. Those 6 turnovers could definitely come down a little bit. Patty McCaw put in 4, and they definitely let the game come to him. Sam Decker put in 4 as well. JR was 4. IT was 4. Joe didn't have any. We came up with some big dimes. He had 6 assists, 4 boards. He was just that veteran presence for us tonight. Can never underrate him, as Nick Young puts up his usual goose egg. So a very solid all-around performance from some names we really didn't think we'd see tonight, for sure. But yeah, a very nice dub nonetheless. That is all the time we have for this video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe if you love the meme team as much as I do, because I've really enjoyed putting this all together. So yeah, I will thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see everybody in the next video. Goodbye.